Robert J. Wright, Aaron McCarty, guests on Keel heard via the Jack Spring Electric Keel Newsmaker Hotline. State Representative Larry Bagley. Hey, Mr. Larry, welcome back to Keel. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Robert. How are you?
I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. You are a fellow who is relatively familiar, I think, with Logansport, Louisiana, which is right there on the Sabine River, which is on the border with Texas. What have you heard about this new Texas rule? And what can you tell us about that? And that maybe in our discussion of it and reading the governor's order, what do you take away from all that? What are your thoughts?
Well, I really think that it's more of a scare tactic than anything else. I mean, I live within a half mile of the bridge, and I was last night. I rode over. My daughter called and asked me, and I'd heard through today, and I talked to the sheriff and state police, and everybody's heard the rumor. There's not anything been done. I'm not sure that, according to the Constitution, you can just stop somebody that's driving on the interstate on the road. I can't imagine pulling people off the interstate 20.
They're doing it. They're doing it in Florida. Have you seen the pictures of the 18-wheeler stuck in that mess in Florida?
I've seen that, but I'm not sure that. I know the rumors there. I think it's more of a threat to keep people out of Texas. There's no policeman on the border in Logansport.
See, that was what I was going to ask. Logansport, Joaquin, I would imagine between those two towns, I would bet at least 50 or 60% of people every day are crossing the state line, right?
Yes, and there are a lot of people that are afraid. Got a lot of calls on Facebook. There are people that live in Texas that need to come over here, or people that live in Louisiana that need to go to Texas. And I know at least one restaurant I heard yesterday had closed because she said that she was going to hurt her business. And that's exactly what we don't want, is for more people going out of business. And it's just there's nothing. I talked to state police and the sheriff, and everybody says pretty much the same thing. Well, they've heard it, nothing's happened. It's more than a rumor, obviously, because there's things been sent out on it. They said that state police told me that what they were going to do, what they'd heard, that was troopers that saw Louisiana plates would pull the cars over, ask them to go to the side of the road, and they take a temperature. If everything was okay, they'd let them go. If not, they'd hold them. Again, who are you going to get to do that, and how many troopers are you going to need to do that? There's just so many. The logistics of it all are just, it's almost unbelievable, especially if you're on a big place like an Interstate 20 or somewhere like that to try to stop people.
It's interesting you say that and give us the info you've just given us, because Aaron, for practically all day yesterday, tried to track down somebody from the Texas Department of Public Safety, and you just can't do that. Do you think they've been, I don't want to say purposely vague, but because of what you see as the relative inability to enforce this governor's order, they're just not answering the phone on purpose, huh?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think, with the exception of martial law, that it's legal to do that anyway. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I know about the Constitution. You have the right to travel unless you do something illegally, and as long as you're driving along, just to stop someone. My son is a policeman, and we were talking about that yesterday. And who wants to stop somebody to see if they've got the virus, which means you're going to be exposed yourself in time. So it's it's just a lot of fear. A lot of people wondered what's going on, and of course that was the reason for my call today, Robert. As you know, I'm chairman of Health and Welfare for the state of Louisiana and the House of Representatives, and wanted to be sure that people understand how dangerous this is. I think there's been over 151 cases as of yesterday afternoon late. I got my last email about 10 o'clock. I have not gotten one this morning. I will. 151 deaths, and I think it was 3,500 cases in the state, and the number continues to grow. The big problem is that younger people who are not getting disease, they still hanging out and going around. My grandsons they're hanging out. I told them they want to come to me. I'm like, look, I'm in the age group to get it. Now, health-wise, I'm healthy, but I'm going to get it somewhere. It's going to be from somebody I know, probably, because that's the only people I'm around. I'm at my home, have been the last 2 weeks. And, it's just hard they don't see the disease, so they don't think anything about it. And, of course, when you're young, you don't really think much about dying. There are some very young people that have died, but not many. Mainly, I saw a list of deaths I guess it was the middle of last week, and probably 50% of them were over 85 of the ones that had died at that time. I hadn't seen it lately, so it's something that needs to be taken seriously. I don't think people do.
Larry, when you say that, Larry, should we be enforcing these orders more vigorously? I mean, we know a church had about 1,000 people at it. We had this parade in New Orleans they had this weekend. We have all these house parties that are going on. Do we need to do a little more enforcing of what the governor's ordered?
Aaron, that's a great question. And again, I don't know outside of declaring martial law what you can do. I mean, you can ask them not to come, but you can't just pull people over and say, "Well, do you have fever? Let me check," or "Where are you going?" I guess you could, but you might run into something. What if somebody says, "No, I'm not going to do that"? Then what do you do? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of sticky. The thing is that and the reason for my call today is to reinforce the fact that this is going on. This is serious. It's dangerous, and there are a lot of people that aren't taking it seriously. They're going on just like always, and if they don't, there are going to be more deaths. We're not going to stop it. We're not going to cut it off. Of course, hopefully the warm weather will stop it or slow it down. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But I've kept my hands. I've tried to stay in this. I'm on the phone constantly. We're in meetings. I'll talk to LDH here in about an hour. I'll talk to a DCSF, Department of Children's Services, this afternoon, and we'll report back in. Tomorrow we go into to session for 3 or 4 hours to read some bills in by law, by the Constitution of Louisiana. We can only be out 2 weeks adjournment, so tomorrow will be that 2 weeks. We'll go back in for 2 and be away probably for another 2 weeks and go back again. So it is disrupted everybody, my life, everybody's life, and it's not something we need to take this seriously.
Larry, we will be back in touch with you. Thank you so much for your time.